live from Studio 6B, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, September 16th. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. We always appreciate you giving us a few hours of your weekdays, 8 to 10 right here. Slick Rick sitting right there is going to do some sports. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
Fantastic.
Excellent. Good to hear. Rick Delgado's going to have some headlines. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well.
How was your day?
My day was busy.
Why? What'd you do?
I've not had a nap, so if I come off a little spicy, you'll know why.
Okay.
I was running around. I had to run Mom around to a couple of appointments.
How's she feeling?
She's doing good.
Good.
She's
So
got
have you actually nailed down what she actually had done yet? You have no idea still.
Yeah, she had cataract, right? The cataract thing taken out.
He's an eyewitness.
And then
That's what I asked you first. You said no.
No, I said
No,
yes.
he said
But
Toyota,
then-
no
I have a
Cadillac.
text message.
But then I said there was another thing that they did where she has to lay flat. And you said, oh, I know
Yep.
what that is.
Oh.
That's not the only thing that you have to lay flat for.
Okay.
But they
So
do
what was
put
that
a little
thing?
bubble. I guess it's for the lens or something. They were lacing something else. They did something else.
You should have
Okay.
been a doctor.
I shouldn't have been a doctor.
So can she see clearly now that you're nuts?
No.
Okay. Good.
But it's starting to come back. As a matter of fact, as I'm running her around, I already showed Erin this picture. Unfortunately, I didn't think of sending it in. This was her drive. I had to drive her around because let's say
That's a badass look right
yeah,
there.
she's ready to cut you.
Yeah.
In that picture. Yeah.
That could be Elvis
Yeah,
still
that's
alive.
a badass look.
I love it.
Yeah, she's ready.
She's ready to kill
All
someone.
right, good. So love out
Probably.
the mom. Hope she's continues to do well.
Yeah, probably me for taking that picture. But
Yeah.
everything else is fine.
Okay, good. Vinnie Mac is here. Vinnie Mac, nice to see you in the studio. How are you?
Yeah, it's good to be here. Love it. So it's always good to be back home.
How was your day? Any decompression going on?
Yeah, I did a full hour and a half of decompression, then another hour of yoga, and then I just sat there with a red light, therapy for a little while.
Do you do
It was
red light
nice.
therapy?
Actually, I do. I love it. It's great.
A lot of people talk. I'm surprised Delgado's not into that crap.
Yeah.
I would be, but I don't know. It seems.
Yeah,
you
you're
sit
not-
there with that mask. Do you sit there with the mask?
Well, I don't put it on my face.
Where do you put it on?
I,
I don't think that's gonna help there, Finn. I'm telling you.
let me tell you, I'm seeing results over there, baby.
I mean, where are we going here?
Yeah, no,
I have no
it's
idea.
good for cellular rejuvenation.
Okay.
So that's number one. But it helps oxygenate. Yeah, it oxygenates your cells.
Yep.
And as a matter of fact, if you have problems sleeping, by the way, yeah, this therapy apparently helps that too. So I don't have a problem sleeping.
So where do you put? Do you put it on your face, on your head?
I was trying to recover from the hernia surgery, so
Isn't
I put
it
it
a
on my
mat you lay
torso.
on or something? Or no?
What's that?
Isn't it a mat you lay on or no? That's
You
not,
could. There are some where you can lay on a mat, and it's like going in a tanning salon. It just
Right.
does your whole body.
Okay.
And then there's some where you could do it in parts of your body. So I would use it and trying to heal, and it works great. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
very
it
good.
does do something.
Now, do you do other stuff like methylene blue and all this other crap too, Vin?
Oh yeah. You name it, I'm trying it.
Okay, very good.
I do the methylene blue. I tried to tell Delgado not to. His tongue is blue. His tongue is blue. Go show the
Well,
the people.
you look great, Finn, especially after having surgery. You're very handsome former model.
Thank you
And
you very much.
As you know, as I've told you many times, the biggest thing I'm happy about is that you stopped putting shoe polish in your hair.
Yeah.
And you just let it roll because
Yeah.
you look good in gray, as I think I will too when I finally get all full.
You're gonna look good. A little silver fox action once
Yeah.
that starts happening.
Yes, but you're a good-looking guy.
But you're already.
For 80.
It's a
whatever
hard
you are.
transition to make. When you're getting older and you're going gray, it's a hard transition. I accept it now.
Okay, now's the key word because
I
you didn't
accept it
before.
now. Yes, thank
So
you.
very good. Vin with his midlife crisis driving his convertible Corvette.
I'm glad you
Shoe
covered that,
polish
though.
in his hair. What
Thank
the hell are you doing?
What do you think you are, Harry?
I just spoke to Harry for like an hour.
Oh yeah,
Harry on the highway. Come on, Harry.
Harry's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's
for
out
sure.
there. Yeah.
No shoe polish for Harry though.
No,
No,
not at all.
natural.
Harry
the real
just-
thing.
He lets it all hang out.
Oh God! All right, 4 minutes past the hour. So there was a lot of news today. A lot of news today.
A lot of news.
Kash Patel was in front of the
Oh man.
with some congressional hearing with a bunch of losers up there. And say what you will about Kash. I know a lot of people are not happy with Kash over a lot of things. And, there's all these reports. And now you're seeing the Trump administration officials want him gone and they want Bondi. I mean, Bondi's 2 comments in the last 24 hours are so mind-bendingly stupid it makes your hair hurt. Now, I think she's tried to qualify a couple of them and kind of, I don't know, walk it back. But, I mean, just, ugh.
What did I tell you? She's terrible on a microphone. Keep her away from it.
Keep her off TV.
Yeah.
Let her write it out. and put it out
does
there.
look like her brain's not working as fast as her mouth wants to go, and she says things without really having a great handle on the subject matter.
Right.
Because that's the only way to explain those two sound bites that we got in the last 24 hours from her. Just what? But getting back to Cash, I'll tell you, that's a great. Cash is not taking any nonsense from these empty suits that he knows are empty suits, and he's just not going to let them push them around. These frauds like Schiff and little Dick Durbin and Cory Booker, that drama queen. My God, give that guy an Oscar. He's the biggest drama queen we've ever seen. And Dick Blumenthal, bunch of dicks up there.
Dick Blumenthal.
Not taking any nonsense from any of them.
No.
Dick Blumenthal, Dick Durbin. So he's great in these hearings. He pushes back, rightly so, on their crap, and that's all it is. They offer nothing to get any legitimate. You know who actually was I'll give some credit here, was at least somewhat close to at least a conversation that tried to elicit some reasonable information, was Amy Klobuchar today. No harsh attacks, no nothing. Like, went over some things, like tried to find common ground. They had at least a humane conversation where she wasn't just out to try to prove to her left-wing friends in media that she can attack them. At least what I heard.
Yeah.
It was the one I heard. I was like, okay, this is at least a reasonable conversation. But most of the other ones are just, ugh.
It wasn't even really questions. It was all grandstanding and statements and just trying to get a soundbite because that's what they're out. That's what they're after. They're trying to get a soundbite. That's all they want. They don't really care about truth. They don't care about questions. They don't really care about anything but themselves and how this might make them look better.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Because they're all kind of grifters. Right? We kind of established that.
It looks like that, doesn't it?
They're all swarmy. If you ever shook one of their hands, you'd have to probably wipe it off. Like,
check your pockets.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when Cash, I mean, some would say, "Oh, that's not the proper decorum as a guest at the thing." When talking to Adam Schiff, there's no decorum to that slime ball. Hit him as hard as you can. Call him out and hit him as hard as you can. He's a slime ball.
Yeah.
We know his deal. He's a lion, thieving, empty suit, slimy. He's like what you go in the woods and you pick up the wood that's been there. It's wet and you pick it up underneath and there's all, God, that's him. What were you going to say, Vin?
I have.
Vin's like, I don't like going in the woods. I need to decompress.
But I notice a shift.
And by the way, Schiff shouldn't even be on a committee. Why is he on any committee? He's a liar, a proven liar. He shouldn't even be on there.
Holy Schiff. That's what I say. I notice a shift, though, not a shift, since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I noticed that the speaking out now is way stronger by the right. And Cash today, he let him have it. It's been part of his personality, but I've noticed that across the board now. It's almost like folks are saying, enough. We've had it now. You pushed us to the edge. We're not taking this crap anymore. And they had a bunch of senators saying stuff. He just went right after him hard. J.D. Vance has as well. Others have. But I have noticed just a shift in just mood, karma, temperature, whatever you want to call it, since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Anyone who says Charlie Kirk was killed, by the way, he wasn't killed. He was assassinated. Okay, the rhetoric around that is a whole other thing. But as far as Cash goes, he's leading what I think is a whole new way of speaking and dealing with these folks, which is just not taking any of their nonsense whatsoever, zero. His confirmation hearings, he was a little more trying to answer questions or trying to take the shots a little bit. And you can just see the gloves are off now, 100% off. And I noticed a change, and I think we'll be talking about that change over the next months and years even.
Yeah. 9 minutes past the hour. So obviously after Cash, then we had the Utah county prosecutor, I believe is his title, give a press conference out there, which I actually live streamed. We live streamed on our socials, which was extremely informative in that he really released a lot of never before heard supposed text messages. And I say supposed not because I don't believe that they're text messages or Discord group chat or whatever this is. I think these are supposed to be text messages, though. But there's been a lot of and then so they did that press conference. They took a couple questions. Interesting when they started talking about the shot, the gunshot. Someone asked about a ballistics question, and the guy jumped in immediately and cut off the press conference. Said, we're gonna have to end it there. Which
Wow. Okay.
kind of had my little spidey senses going, because that's the one big part of this, as those of you who've been watching me stream know, that I have big questions about. But not going to get into that now here. But so they stopped it right then. So then we had his first virtual court appearance. And I pulled this. I had Aaron pull this because if we're going to hear the charges read, which there's 7 of them, I wanted to hear the judge's version, not the prosecutor in Utah's version. So we'll get to that in a second. But let's just get back to what the Utah press conference broke, which was these text messages between the suspect and his transitioning lover. Right. Have you seen them?
I just read it.
Oh, yeah.
I just read it.
You read, what did you read?
I read the entire
Okay. Delgado, did you read the entire exchange?
I read, yeah.
Okay. Vin, did you read the entire exchange?
I read the entire exchange.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a lot of chatter about people reading it. What did you think when you read it, Slick? Any
I don't know what the time stamp on it was. Almost
well, just what about the conversation?
Yeah.
Seem reasonable to you?
Yeah, it seemed reasonable to me. I mean, I don't know if it was a setup, if they were trying to hide something, but it seemed like the fella there didn't know all that much about it. The boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is, their boyfriend.
Interesting.
I don't know.
That's a nice choice of words there. It didn't seem like he knew much about it. That might be purposeful.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Delgado, what'd you think?
That's the part that jumped out at me. If they're this close, how does this person not know about it?
Right.
How do they not pick up certain clues?
Yeah.
That was my takeaway.
How are they now talking about it? And
It
there's
does.
no
It
freak
reads
out?
like a cover your ass kind of
Yes.
Right.
for
Yes.
one half of the parties involved here.
Yeah.
But and people are saying, they put it into Grok and they say to Grok, is this, does this sound like a legitimate conversation? And Grok keeps saying, no, it sounds like a
Right.
fantasy
It sounds like a crock.
movie script made up.
That's where I'm
Not a
coming
grok.
from on that.
Where did you say?
That's where I'm coming from. I think it's a total farce. I think it was scripted, and I don't believe it. I don't believe that conversation.
Me neither.
I don't believe that was an organic conversation.
Yeah,
is
me
what I'm
either.
saying.
Okay, let's get back to that word organic when we get back from the break.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, I was there about an hour ago. There's one thing in there, though, that makes me think. I'll tell you what it is when we get back.
Marianne Max says, Delgado, always glad you're there.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. Matt.
In the chat,
I'm a little spicy tonight.
chat. You're all conspiracy theorists? No, actually,
No.
I don't think so at all, Ernie.
Just me.
Not even close.
No, Delgado has that title. And once in a
Delgado
while,
wears
Paul
that
Nolan
crown.
pinch hits.
I wear it proudly.
You and Nolan pinch hits once in a while for you. You guys are the conspiracists.
Well, you know what? Seem to be doing pretty well with that stuff. So
Well,
let's see.
look at all my friends in the YouTube.
howdy, rumblers.
Wherever you're watching, make sure you hit the
Rumble,
like,
rumble,
thumbs up,
rumble,
whatever they
rumble.
have, heart,
Howdy, rumblers.
comment, share.
Come on, we got the
Do something.
YouTubes.
Thank you, Janice. Good to be back here.
That being the entry and exit wounds, I have that question too, Damon. Yeah, well, that's not a. Yeah.
Rumble, rumble. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. I didn't get a nap today. I'm a little spicy.
Elaine Emmerich,
I'm
thank
trying
you.
to
It's good to be
think
back in
now.
the studio as well. Yeah, I'm getting
So
a lot
what
of
is
videos. Good to see you back in
what
the
has
studio.
given Damon reason to think that there's cause here? That this is a valid transcribe here. This text.
I'll tell you.
Trying to think what
When we
that
get
might
back.
be. I know
Yeah.
you will.
There's
I'm trying to get it before
There's
you do.
one exchange.
There's one exchange.
Yep.
When I first heard it, like when the district attorney
What was
there
with the
was reading it,
grandpa and the gun? All that thing with the grandpa and the gun. Why would he put his grandpa and his father looking for the gun? There was something weird about that. I
Oh,
thought
it was
that
his grandfather's gun.
right, but they were looking for it. Well,
Even though supposedly it was given to him. So it's like, well, I guess because he saw it on TV and it's a rare gun, supposedly. That was the story.
have they identified this
Howdy,
person?
YouTubers.
Have they identified this young person, this young man?
Lee on Facebook says, I watched Damon on the unboxing video. Someone needs to send him a box cutter before he gets hurt. That's fine.
it was watching a box open for the hearing impaired. You were just having a tough time with that. I saw that too. I was feeling for you.
Yeah?
Yeah. We gotta get you some equipment.
Didn't you use a scissor or something?
No, it was Gorilla.
Yeah. What's going on with YouTube? I have no idea anymore.
Right, I'm on
Real
I'm in
America's
YouTube.
Voices.
Everything's
on
fine.
YouTube.
Everything's fine in YouTube.
Everything's on the YouTube.
Everything's fine.
I'm in it right now.
I'm on it too.
I'm answering to Alice I Wonder right now, my good
Alice.
friend.
Hello,
Alice
Alice.
I Wonder.
What does she wonder?
She wonders who grew the Freaky's tree. I don't know. It's
Okay.
just, it's an old commercial from Freaky's cereal. Probably before all your time.
The fact.
You have nothing better to do.
All right, 17 past. Why do I sing the end? I don't know. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Slick's here. He's doing sports.
Oh, yeah.
Delgado's going to do some headline news. Vinny Mac's got some thoughts. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. 17 past the hour on a Tuesday night, Real America's Voice. So we were talking about the text message thread, which is all everybody's talking about tonight on social media, that was released today at the press conference. And it's supposedly an exchange after the shooting between the suspect in custody and his gay lover, I guess is the best way to put it, transitioning lover, whatever you want to say.
No, gay.
So, Vin, I'll start with you. You said you did not think it was an organic, is that what you said? Organic exchange. Explain.
When I first heard it, when the district attorney was going through it, I was like, oh boy, wow. I sort of believed it. Then I read it, and it just seemed contrived to me, frankly.
Yeah.
So that's really it. I have really no factual basis, and there wasn't a red flag.
Contrived because who the hell talks like that?
Exactly. I felt
Number
like
one.
here's a CYA exchange of text messages, because at least what I started thinking about was they totally talked about this. This person, in fact, probably encouraged it.
100%.
And the rest is history.
The only difference between the two is one finger pulled the trigger and the other didn't. Other than that, they're as culpable, seemingly. And I think I'm still almost all the way there with you too. But this is the one thing from the report and then from the exchanges that catches my attention. How do you explain this? So this is from the prosecutor's office today. They read this. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched the rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. And when you go to the exchange, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. So how do you explain that if it's fake?
There might be some things there that are true, that are real.
He says, Grandpa wants to know who has it. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. I mean, so how do you explain that if you know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that caught my attention. Delgado?
No, that kind of caught my attention as well.
How would he know his dad wants a picture of it?
Well, didn't he just say his dad texted me, wants a picture of the rifle? Send me a picture of the rifle?
Right, but I'm saying he obviously wouldn't know that until the dad actually did it, and then he would text it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't know to text that unless you know that the dad's already asked you for it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you saying the dad didn't ask for it by the time that text went out?
No, I'm saying the text went out after the dad asked for it. That's the only reason he knew. That's why when they find these,
Right.
and it says, my dad wants photos of the rifle, he says, Grandpa wants to know who and what has it. The feds released a photo. It's very unique. He's calling me right now. Then you go back to the prosecutor, and they say, Robinson's father reported when the wife showed him, he also believed as a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. I mean, I don't know how you get around that and still say that the whole conversation is staged and made up.
That's a fair point. I mean, when I heard them say that, I bought it initially. But as I've read the back and forth, it just sounded contrived to me after that. So, I mean, that's it. I have no basis. It's just my own personal gut feeling of what I heard or what I read. So it very well may be true, but I felt uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, I you know what? If I'm getting that text saying this person just did that, I'm not texting you back. I'm calling you back. I'm not sitting there, oh, well, what do you mean? What? Huh?
That's a good point.
It seems just a little too, I don't know, detached. I'm sorry, but if this is somebody that I'm involved with, if my other half texts me, I just did something horrible,
Call
blah
me.
blah blah.
I'm on the phone. Yeah, I'm on the phone.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
There's no there's no texting.
back and
There's
forth.
no back and forth going.
Hold
what do you
on.
mean?
Oh, let me get a salutation. Hello there. Yeah.
Oh, let me
comma.
let me put 17 question marks.
Right.
No, there's none of that. There's immediate response. This. You know
Plus,
what?
yeah, you wouldn't want to put this stuff in writing anyway. You got to be an idiot to do that.
Well, that's the
That
other
part
thing.
too.
That's the other thing that
That's
screams.
unconscionable.
That screams from this exchange. If you're to take the side that this exchange, for the most part, is accurate, it screams arrogance like we've maybe never seen before, and maybe a little naive or just so cold-blooded to say. I think, what did he say? Something like, once I retrieved the rifle, I think I've left no evidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Imagine thinking that. And imagine thinking that you could text all of this in this day and age, digital age, and think that that you're
Gotta be a
covering
fool.
your tracks, or that somehow you're safe enough to say these things.
Nope.
But the idea that all I have to do is go back and retrieve the rifle and I've left no evidence just shows you either that this kid was arrogant beyond anything anyone could comprehend, or because that doesn't sound like someone who's a perfect student who aced their SATs and could have gone to any college of his choice from a pretty stable family, it seems like.
Well,
Yeah.
Carlton Robinson in the YouTube chat says, guys, you're not 22. So what does that
True.
say?
Good point. But again, even at 22.
Well, my son's 18, and I can tell you he doesn't text like that. None of his friends who are 18, 19, 20 text like that. I don't know any young person who texts like this. Just to go back to the other side for a second.
Right. And another part here too, this whole thing about engraving bullets. Remember how I was engraving bullets?
I had hoped to keep this
who
a
says
secret
that?
till I died of old age.
Who says this?
Yeah.
Of old age? I know. At 22, who's thinking of old age, right?
And if he's reminding his quote unquote gay dude lover there that he was engraving bullets, wouldn't gay dude lover go, "What the hell are you doing engraving bullets? What's going on here, bro?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he'd say, "What's going on here, bro?" I don't know.
Right. If you're reading this, you're gay, right? That was one of the bullets.
Yeah, and I
if
think
you're
that was
reading
also
this,
the name of
you're
the
gay.
Discord thread.
Oh,
Don't
really?
read this if you're gay. I think that was the title of it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of this is just
Well, you're seeing all kinds of people saying, I showed this to my 21, 22-year-old, and they said, Mom, this is how you text, not me and my friends.
There you go.
And
So-
that's how I felt when I read it.
I think,
just
Vinny,
like
you
it
said
does-
contrived.
it
I think that
seemed-
was the word.
Yeah, contrived,
Yeah, I agree with that. I tend to agree with that.
Either way, the fact that they spoke about it and brought it out the way they did, the FBI and police, their radar has to be up as well. They're probably trying to figure out how can we use this person, and let's see if they were involved and try to smoke them out a little bit. That's these are tactics that could be part of by sharing that whole exchange. He didn't have to share that exchange.
No.
I mean, it was frankly kind of unnecessary, but he does admit to the crime in the exchange.
Admits to the crime, but why leave the gun behind?
Why what?
Why leave the gun behind? You had it broken down in your bag, and you put it back together.
It was in his pant leg. Like, why did he take it out?
Tree?
Yeah.
It's like you're.
Well, we don't know if it's broken down. Remember, we don't know if it's broken down.
They're trying to tell us from that video.
It makes no sense to break it down.
He jumped down with it in his hand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I've jumped out of a lot of trees. Your hand's got to be open because you got to brace to hit that ground and tuck and roll just in case.
Well, in
Don't
the
ask
video,
me why
though,
I'm jumping out of trees.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
All right, more, and we'll do sports and news when we get back live from Studio 6B right after this.
Didn't they say in the videotape that when he was walking with that limp, he had that gun down his leg? I mean, why didn't he just walk all the way to his car with it in his pants?
Yeah, I don't know about that either. That's strange.
They said that during the presentation today with the district attorney. They said exactly that. You see the limp. It's because the gun was down his pants.
Right.
And then he hides the gun, and then he goes to his car and drives, 3.5 hours back home, back to wherever he lived, right? So why would he take the gun out of his pants then? It's a pretty good hiding spot, I guess, right?
I guess he wanted to hustle. He probably had to run. He couldn't get the kind of push
Robert Turgeon on Facebook says, I posted on next to approximately 30 people yesterday the video that shows Kirk getting shot by a pistol at the event just as his blood spills. Does anyone give a crap, or are you guys a bunch of phonies? Been trying to get any if you main for 2 whole days. Well, if you have that video, you can send it to us. I've never seen it, and there's only been audio analysis of one shot, certainly not from a pistol. So I don't believe any of that's true. But if you have a video and you want to send it, we're happy to look at it. LFS6B@yahoo.com. Maybe some footage no one's seen. Remember something. This is an open carry. People were circling this guy in the light tan shirt who obviously had a pistol in his hand. It's an open carry campus, or concealed carry camp. So again, a lot of people there were probably hot, and when shots go off, guess what everyone's going to do?
Yep, pull it out,
reach for their gun,
and run. So every picture you see of somebody with a handgun doesn't mean that they're
involved.
It's a carry campus.
Any further intel on the old man there that was running interference? It looks
he got arrested.
Yeah, he was arrested.
He's a pedophile.
Oh,
he got arrested and charged with child pornography today, and charged with, I guess, obstruction of justice or something. Because
his name is George Zinn.
He tried to claim he shot Charlie,
right?
But he didn't.
He
said he was buying time for the guy to get away.
Yeah, he was buying time.
But who knows? Has there been a connection between the two placed yet?
No.
If you Google that guy, I think his name comes up involved with 9/11 too. Have you done that?
Wow.
Yeah, he's done.
No.
He did something for 9/11. He did something for the Boston bombing, where he claimed there was a bomb going to be at a different marathon. I think in Utah.
Jeez.
Why would he be at all 3 of these things?
He wasn't at them.
Oh, okay.
But I think he was doing stuff related to him. The question is, why was he there?
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports with Slick, and then we'll get to the judge today and reading of the charges. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at My Pillow. All the great stuff from Lindell. You can use our code at checkout. It'll give you a great savings on whatever you put in your cart. They sponsor sports. Slick's got it. What's going on, Slick?
All right, well, Monday Night Football wrap-up, good games. Buccaneers, well, one good game, I should say. The Buccaneers and Texans had a good game. 20-19, Buccaneers on top. Baker Mayfield with a victorious drive at the end to cap that off. And then the Chargers defeated the Raiders pretty handily, 20-9. I think Geno Smith may have had one of the worst NFL performances I ever seen. His fantasy football rating came in at about an 8. And most quarterbacks usually come in between 18 to 30. So it's just incredible how bad that game was. I'm glad to see that because that actually helped me win my fantasy football that week. So I want to report on that. Major League Baseball, let's get to that. We're winding down. We got about a dozen games left. And wild card, there's 5 spots open in the AL, legitimately, and 4 in the NL. So Yankees look pretty good, Rick. They're in the top spot of those 5 there. But we got the Cubs right now leading the Pirates 4-1, middle of the 6th. Guardians 3-2 over the Tigers, end of 6. Braves and Nationals, no score in a rain delay right now in D.C. Look like some rain coming our way, I guess. Athletics right now trail the Red Sox 1-0, top of the 6th. Mets, who are very much in the wild card race in the NL, lead the Padres 8-2 in Citi Field, top of the 5th there. Bottom of the 3rd, the Blue Jays blanking the Rays 4-0. Brewers, who, well, they've already clinched the NL Central. They've done a great job. They've had a great season, in fact. They lead the Angels 2-0, top of the 3rd. They may actually be the NL favorite there to make it to the World Series in my book. Orioles and White Sox tied at 2, top of the 3rd. Also top 3rd, the Yankees up 7-1 in Minnesota. They're right there. That's looking good there, and that is in the top of the 3rd, yes. Mariners over the Royals 7-0, middle of the 3rd. All top 3rd, the Cardinals blanking the Reds 1-0. Reds are also in the race, 1.5 games behind the Mets there for that last spot. Astros 1-0 over the Rangers, top of the 2nd. Earlier today, the Braves defeated the Nationals 6-3. Marlins take on the Rockets 8:40 first pitch. 9:40 Giants in the race as well, taking on the Diamondbacks in the race as well. Phillies and Dodgers, that'll be the nightcap. That's a 10:10 first pitch. And well, some tough news there. But well, Joe Burrow's foundation severs ties with Ohio judge over comments celebrating Charlie Kirk's killing. This is Paulina Didage of Fox News. The Joe Burrow Foundation has severed ties with Hamilton County Municipal Judge Ted Berry after the Ohio judge allegedly made celebratory comments on social media about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Right, another fool here. The foundation, founded by Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, released a statement Friday announcing that it had terminated a member of its advisory board. The Joe Burrow Foundation was founded on the belief that everyone has the responsibility to do good. We have terminated an advisory board member that made inappropriate remarks in light of recent events, and they are no longer associated with the foundation. The statement said, their comments do not reflect our values or our mission. We are committed to accountability and respect for all. Berry was listed as a member of the advisory board previously on the foundation's website. The statement did not name Berry or directly reference Kirk's killing. Fox News Digital reached out to the organization for a statement to clarify whether Berry was the member terminated. Ohio State Representative Adam Matthews shared the foundation's statement on social media and confirmed to Fox News Digital Tuesday that Berry was the advisory board member terminated by the foundation. The Republican lawmaker previously released a statement calling for the judge's resignation after social media comments that Matthews said he celebrated Kirk's killing with vitriolic, racially charged, and political language. A judge must be a pillar of fairness and impartiality in our community, Matthews said. So to see a sitting judge post comments like rest in hatred and division, ask how he feels about a gun and violent control in hell now, and then celebrate the race of the killer by stating, so a white guy killed him, color, it's karma, is shocking. And I can't believe a judge would, in his right mind, put this on his social media. But we've seen it from teachers. We've seen it from, people in the community and throughout the country. Well, they're getting their just desserts. They're getting terminated, which is good to see. So I'll rest it there, Big D. I'll talk about Sean McVay tearing his plantar fasciitis over the weekend as well at the Rams game. We'll get to that in the next segment.
All right, Slick, very good. 34 past the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Use code LFS6B at checkout. So here's the judge today in the first appearance that they had. And their next appearance is scheduled for September 29th, and that will be a virtual appearance as well. But here's the judge today reading off the 7 counts that this subhuman is going to be charged with and that they will go for the death penalty. Here's the judge. Roll it, Aaron.
Mr. Robinson, for count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-5-202, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76.3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years, that may be for life. Victim targeting enhancement in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-3-203.14 sub 2. Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief or perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. Notice if the trier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim as an aggravating factor. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child aggravating factor, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider as an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed a violent criminal offense in the presence of a child. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony, in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-11-210 sub 2 and 3C, in that on September 10th, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson discharged a firearm in the direction of Charlie Kirk, knowing or having reason to believe that Charlie Kirk may be endangered by the discharge of the firearm and that the act caused serious bodily injury to Charlie Kirk.
It's going to take a while to get through all 7. I think we have a graphic on what all 7 charges are. There they are: aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, obstruction of justice, 2 counts, witness tampering, 2 counts, commission of a violent crime in the presence of a child. So 7 counts, death penalty, all on the state level. We'll wait to see what the feds do. And whether there's any jurisdictional issues there with the feds trying to do whatever they want to do, we'll see.
Plus, it'll be nice to know that they will seek the death penalty, like you mentioned, which is good to hear. And, of course, he's going to be held without bail. If you saw, he was wearing, I guess, a protective vest to make sure, I guess he's on suicide watch now. That's been announced as well. You know, so just a few more details coming out from, I don't even say this guy's name. I don't think he's worthy of recognition by name.
I understand
Charlie Kirk's murderer.
Yeah,
assassin.
I understand the firing squad is still intact too in Utah.
For Utah,
right?
death by firing squad.
Yeah, which is, hate to say it, justifiable and apropos.
Mm-hmm.
And you could get millions of people who'd like to be able to pull that trigger together if that was to happen. So,
could you
no doubt.
including Megyn Kelly, who talked about it today on her show.
Oh, really?
So, all right, let's do some headline news. There's other stuff going on. Like I said, it was a busy day, 38 past the hour, and Rick Delgado's got those. What's going on, Delgado? By the way, Turning Point, Charlie Kirk's memorial will be on Sunday. President Trump, just back from England, will be there. I believe that's Sunday out at where the Cardinals play.
Yeah, at the stadium.
Right.
Yep, it's going to be happening on Sunday, like you mentioned. Where are the details?
In Glendale. Fightforcharlie.com is the website. Obviously, Erica Kirk, remarks by her.
Yep.
President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of HHS Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump Jr., Tucker Carlson, Stephen Miller, Sergio Gore, Suzanne Scott. More names to be announced September 21st. Fightforcharlie.com if you want more information. Fightforcharlie.com.
You know what's interesting about that list, by the way? I don't know if did you pick this up? They talked about it today. RFK Jr., he was really influential in getting Trump to put him as part of the cabinet. I had no idea. I had never really heard of Charlie Kirk and RFK Jr. having a relationship, let alone him having influence to Trump to getting RFK Jr. in it. But when you hear RFK talk, he says that.
Yeah, he says I'm the reason he's the reason I'm here.
Which is amazing.
Caroline Leavitt, too.
Yeah.
Caroline Levitt gives almost all credit to Charlie Kirk for getting her, because when she ran in 22, no one took her seriously as a candidate that she could even, win a vote, and except for Charlie. And now, of course, she's the White House press secretary, and she talked about it too. Did you see J.D. Vance host Charlie's show yesterday? Because he had both of them on to talk about it.
I saw J.D. I thought he was amazing. We did a little sizzle clip. I saw that Rav put out. That is amazing, of all the day's events regarding that show. JD, man, I tell you, I really do love that guy. I'm a big fan of his, and the fact that he was so close to someone like Charlie Kirk,
amazing,
who was just so influential and so dynamic. I can't say enough good things about that guy. But JD was so impressive, and to sit there and do a podcast. The Vice President of the United States. Can you imagine Kamala Harris doing a podcast on anything?
No.
He was fantastic. And we played it yesterday. His closing 13 minutes. I mean, I think we look back and think that's a pretty consequential speech.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was
definitely.
It was really unbelievable.
It's so heartfelt. And the thing that, and I think I mentioned this to you guys right after it happened, because I was in West Palm at the offices. People knew Charlie. But they all had the professional relationship and the friendship relationship, and it shows so deeply. You see politicians; they don't know each other that well. At least we don't think they do. You don't think that they're friends, really friends. They're colleagues, maybe, and you have folks in your office, maybe you're friends with, at work. Maybe you're not hanging out with them after. These people were really friends. There was real depth to the relationships beyond politics and all that. That says a lot to me. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, according to Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's memorial is going to be held at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, on September the 21st. Anyone interested in attending? It's called Building a Legacy, Remembering Charlie Kirk. Must register on the Turning Point USA website. Provide the information, and all tickets or attendance will be determined on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you're planning to go and be in that area, make your plans accordingly. I know. I've already had friends, asking me that is the network flying you guys out? Are we going to be covering this? I truly don't know. I'm sure we'll be covering it.
The network's going to cover it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure
they'll send the guys.
And I'm sure they'll have a top-notch crew doing it. So you'll be in good hands the entire day.
All right, 42 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll get to headlines, we'll get to Vin, and we'll get to some video. Like I said, everybody was talking about this text exchange. Even some of the mainstream media was. We'll see what their take is when we get back right after this.
All right. All my Facebookers out there, happy to see everybody. Keith Brockman. Is Rav going to stream the event Sunday? I believe they are. I've seen and heard about that. So if you're a fan of the network, get the Rav app or put Rav on your TV and check it out, because the network's there. The network's behind Charlie. He was on our network, and the support that the network has been showing and the heartbreak I saw in the offices with everybody is real and amazing, and the network is stepping up. Look at what
Mr. Blutarski in the YouTubes. Mr. Blutarski, you are correct. We are being told a story. Maybe not the story. I'm just going with Mr. Blutarski on the YouTubes.
Hey, Greta Garbo's out there. I've not seen Greta in a while.
And Miller,
Aaron,
Nancy
what cut is
Burns
that one?
Put on a suit. Oh, is that the ABC kid?
That's that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, are you there? Okay,
Racing Banshee.
the reason I'm at. I'll wait till she.
Farmer Brook. Farmer Brook. Farmer Brook says, damn, Delgado, top-notch crew rules you guys out.
After one, there's a follow-up that we don't have, so I'll go here.
Dave Peterson says he's wearing the assassin's wearing a suicide gown, or as they call it where he works, a Gumby suit. That seems to be the technical term. He can't do anything to himself, I guess is the bottom line.
Yep.
Basically, he probably has, like, you know, probably got, like the long sleeves with mittens on it because, you know, Gumby had just basically.
And if he goes to the general population, you know what he'll be wearing? A pokey suit.
All right. I'm Gumby, damn it.
Hokey pokey.
This lowlife. I just want to move past this guy and let him get the firing squad or whatever happens. I want to figure out ways to help what Charlie set up and move that forward.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. So, as we said, busy news day today. Cash this morning, and then we had the Utah county prosecutor give a press briefing, and then we had the judge in the first court appearance. So we got a lot of information today, and most of what people are talking about are these. Well, as Steve Bannon said, I'm not buying any of this. How did this guy have time to write a sonnet?
Interesting.
Which is an interesting take. And a lot of people have questions about this exchange, supposedly between two 22-year-old gay lovers, and the way they spoke. And it just looks like a pre-planned, meditated script to cover the accomplice, which I don't think it's going to do a very good job of in the end, even if it is 100% every word of it true. But the media also talked about these exchanges today. So cut one, let's see what the media had and what they took out of this. Roll that, Aaron.
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner.
Yeah.
On the other hand.
Because, that's the important
What other
part.
hand?
Notice how quick they are to humanize the cold-blooded murderer, the assassin, but how quick they are to use the words Nazi and Hitler to describe anybody they don't agree with.
Yeah,
fascist.
That's the media. This is the left-wing media. No matter, even after everything you've seen the last almost week now, they can't help themselves. You can't hate these people enough.
This situation is so powerful, even those crazies in the media are losing credibility. I mean, the majority of this country has common sense and realizes that this deranged animal assassinated one of the most important people in our country, and they're trying to humanize various things here because they're not connected, they're not attached, they have no sense of reality to what's really happened here, and I think they're losing credibility by the minute. Like, this is the strongest I've seen them been bashed by more people than not just on the right. On the left, too.
Well, I'm sure that reporter from ABC, once he got done with that part of his hit, probably thought to himself, "What did I just say? That's
What was on my teleprompter?"
Got to be." So let's go a little forward into that interview till about a minute 30 later, when the host came back to him. I'm sure he cleaned it up here because he had to be thinking, "That's probably not the best way to word this." Let's get the follow up here.
It's heartbreaking on so many levels, Kira. Obviously, Charlie Kirk was murdered brutally in front of a crowd of thousands of people who watched him being shot through the neck and then essentially bleed out in front of him. And I think one of the things that the attorney here made a very fine point about is that a lot of these charges, 7 charges, were aggravated because children were present. Children witnessed this. Children were put in harm's way. And that was something that obviously is aggravating here, and that's one of the reasons that the suspect, in addition to the alleged murder being political in nature, is facing the death penalty. They're going for the death penalty. And on the other hand, there is this duality of a portrait of a very human person, a very human experience from this entire family. As you mentioned it, the mother who essentially discovered that it was her son who had done this, the kid who had got a 34 out of 36 on the ACTs, who had a 4.0, who got a full ride to college here, that kid was the one who allegedly perpetrated. She saw those pictures and identified him essentially. And then those text messages, and I don't think I've ever experienced a press conference in which we've read text messages that are so fulsome, so robust, so apparently, allegedly self-incriminating, and yet on the other hand, so touching, right? With the suspect reaching out to his roommate, who is allegedly his boyfriend, who we understand, identified as male at birth, now identifies as female, and the terminology he used. He was trying to protect him. He kept calling him my love. My reason for doing this is to protect you, but also asking him to delete the messages and not speak to law enforcement. So there's this heartbreaking duality that we're seeing very tragically playing out.
Duality.
Stop. What a complete clown shoe.
Have you ever?
That's the worst ever.
That is the worst ever.
That's the worst I've ever seen.
That one's worse than the first one.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Way worse.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Glad he gave it some thought. Wow.
Yeah, I like the way he tried to walk it back.
He walked it back right into a brick wall.
Holy
What a lame
moly.
ass.
Wow.
I mean,
how do you eat?
At some point, does anybody get in this guy's ear and say, stop talking? No, because they all think that way. They're all broken. That's an example of a broken person. He doesn't have rational thoughts. Because he wouldn't be looking at this guy. If this guy did that to somebody in his family, he wouldn't be looking at those text messages going, my goodness, what a loving human being he is to that transitioning homosexual man. I can't believe that they had time to have this conversation and really display their love for each other. Who cares?
Here's the narrative a guy like that should be saying.
Holy moly.
There's just nothing redeemable about the president.
No.
There's just not. They just need.
He should be talking about, this is a story about brainwashing. This is a story about hate being spewed and being allowed to be spewed by the leaders of this country. This is a story about a young man indoctrinated through the youth, indoctrinated through social media, indoctrinated through all of this hate that they allow, and that media, just like this guy, perpetuate and put out. And the end result is he's brainwashed to think he needs to kill Charlie Kirk. There's nothing redeeming about this guy whatsoever.
This guy is brainwashed.
Well, the reporter himself.
Yeah, the reporter himself is brainwashed to feel that if he's, and let's face it, maybe he's an actor. You know, he's got the great hair, he's got the great look, he's really pausing at the right moments to get his words out right. Maybe he's just an actor playing a role, which we've seen because that's the media these days. They're actors playing roles. They don't really care. There's not really much to them. They're empty suits. Maybe he's just an empty suit trying, hey, how was that? Maybe he gets done with his spot and goes, whew, I nailed it. Wow. Right? Maybe that's...
How did I look?
I'm looking for anything to say, wait, this can't be a real, living, breathing, feeling human being who we just heard, who claims to be a reporter, giving all this deference to the murderous assassin. Who gives a flying F?
Yeah, yep.
That guy does.
It's amazing that he does the first minute 7, and then you got to think when they cut away and go back to the host, he's got to be thinking, oh, I'll take what I shouldn't have said for $500, Alex, and then they come back to him. and he not only doubles but triples down with something way worse.
Yeah.
But by the way, there are producers in ears. This is how the system actually works.
Yes.
There's
Aaron yells at us all the time.
Yeah, there's someone talking to us right here and saying, hey, whatever his name is, Bob, or whatever his name is, you need to backtrack that. Like, so they may be putting this nonsense into his ear. You know, they're as guilty as anybody. You know, these folks that are pushing information out to say things, because they're doing that.
His name is Matt Gutman. Never heard of him before.
Gutless.
Matt
MSLSD?
I'll buy Gutman for
ABC.
$500.
Oh, ABC.
All right.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's typical of the
ABC
left
is
media.
terrible, too. They're terrible.
Again, there's just, I mean, I don't know.
There's nothing
There's just
upstairs
nothing
on that
redeemable
guy.
about
No.
the media.
No.
The mainstream media should just cease to exist at this point.
They very well might.
All right, hour 2 coming back. We will get the headlines. We will get the VIN next. I should say, if in fact the roommate pictures I've seen are in fact the roommate looks more like the first pictures we got of him on the stairwell with the glasses on than the guy does.
Oh, really?
What's the roommate's name? Do we even know?
Yeah, we know. It's
I
somewhere.
haven't seen that name. Has it been leaked?
Lesbian leaked? What?
Yeah.
Tyler Robinson, roommate?
Yeah,
I think it is.
His name is out there. I forget. I've seen it. I can't remember what it was, but
Newsweek has. Oh yeah, I've heard this name. Lance Twigs.
oh yeah.
Perfect name.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the name? Lance Twigs?
Twigs. Twigs and berries.
Twigs and berries. Gone missing.
Oh, you
I did not know that.
You did not know that.
You do now.
Twigs and berries.
Oh, boy.
What a name. You couldn't make that up.
That's a real name? Sounds like a stage name of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
really?
It's a furry.
Oh, my God. With the cat with the litter box and all? Does he have a litter box?
No. They dress up like a furry, like a stuffed animal.
Oh, okay.
That's what a
I think
furry
there's
is.
cosplay. There's a lot to be talked about that, too, with these kids and the video games and the cosplay. And a lot of that's, I was talking to my wife about that earlier today. A lot of that's where things just go wrong, man.
There's a lot of insulated conversation that it goes off the rails.
It goes
And
off
bad
the
people
rails.
getting into them
Yeah.
to
Indoctrinating them.
indoctrinate bad
Yep.
things. Or, pedophiles and perverts and all
Right,
that.
like, yeah. It's ironic that old man ended up being charged on pedophilia, which is crazy, right?
They went through his phone to see what he was up to. And what do they find?
Thank goodness.
Naked pictures of kids.
Oh, that's great.
Sherry Merrill, by the way, says that it looks like we took out another drug boat. I didn't
know.
see that come out in the news.
Yesterday or the day before, yeah.
A third one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keep them
Yeah.
coming.
I thought it was another one. Okay. But thank you for the update there,
yeah.
Sherry.
They were traveling along, and then they had they lost their rudder
They lost their rudder.
and everything else. About the boat.
Chuck tells people not to go fishing. He's like, I wouldn't do that
not,
right now.
not quite the love boat.
No.
Nope.
Captain
Man,
Stubing
oh,
is
man.
not in charge of that.
Yeah, that's it.
They do both look alike.
Yeah, Damon.
They do. I'm telling you, he looks
Damon-
more like the pictures than the
Yeah.
kid does.
That's a good point. The nose.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
That nose is what is telling.
It's very telling.
Wow. God. Imagine all that. Imagine that if it's a flip and he's taking the fall for
Robert,
the
I see your video.
girlfriend or whatever you boyfriend, I guess.
right, 9 o'clock, hour 2. Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's going to do the news, and Vinny's going to do his news coming up. We would just keep talking about stuff here, but that's fine. I like doing that, too. So, Aaron and Fran holding it down, as always. You know, people sending us all kinds of videos. Let me just make a couple blanket statements that are fact. Anybody who tells you that there's video of the bullet getting picked up on an iPhone is delusional. And you should not pay attention to that video anymore, because there is no way, none, not even 0.1% chance that an iPhone shooting at 24 frames a second is catching a bullet moving at 1,000 feet per second. It's not happening. It's not happening at 24 frames a second. It's not happening at 30 frames a second. It's not happening at 60 frames a second. So unless you get somebody there who had their shutter speed at approximately, I don't know, Fran, what do you think it would need to be at to catch a bullet like the guy from the Times did when Trump got shot at Butler, that one shot that he was able to catch the bullet?
That was a really high shutter speed for that picture.
Couple 100,000? 100,000?
Yeah, maybe 1,000 and probably 1,000 and up.
100,000? I think it would have to be 100,000.
I don't think they actually shoot that fast.
I mean, it would have to be. It ain't happening on an iPhone. Period. Never. No way. There's not with the hand of God at saying, "Oh, it was the perfect." No. Not possible at 24, 30, or 60 frames a second. And I think the iPhone goes up to 240. It ain't possible at that either. So, all right, let's do some headlines. Rick Delgado's got them. What's going on, Delgado?
Are you sure?
Positive. I'm positive about that.
All right, let's get started with something we referenced a little bit earlier. That being, of course, Pam Bondi, who, as you know, I've had my misgivings about her getting in front of a microphone, and well, she proved me right yet again, as Pam Bondi faces criticism for saying the DOJ will target anyone who engaged in hate speech.
All right, Delgado, let me interrupt your news.
Okay.
Breaking news. To freeze a bullet in a photograph, you need a very high shutter speed, typically around 1/32,000th of a second or faster, along with a flash trigger to illuminate the bullet as it moves. Okay? Ain't happening on an iPhone.
Yeah, that happens on every iPhone.
So all footage you have of iPhones, which is 99.99% of the footage that's out there, is not catching the bullet.
Yeah.
And if the video starts with, "Hey, we have the bullet," just turn it off. Sorry, Delgado, go ahead.
Not a problem. Attorney Pam Bondi is facing a bipartisan backlash today over her comments that the Justice Department will absolutely target anyone who targets others with hate speech in the wake of the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Bondi made the comments in a podcast interview with Katie Miller, the wife of the White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. There's free speech, she said, then there's hate speech, and there's no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie in our society. We will absolutely target you, go after you if you're targeting anyone with hate speech. And that is across the aisle. Of course, those comments quickly gained traction across social media, with users replying from a 2024 post from Charlie Kirk himself, in which he wrote, "Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, gross speech, there's evil speech. All of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free." Someone needs to explain that to Miss Bondi, that so-called hate speech, repulsive though it may be, is protected by the First Amendment. She should know this, that according to conservative commentator Britt Hume, as he wrote that on X. President Trump was also asked about this as he was getting ready to depart for the UK earlier today. Here he is talking to an ABC reporter when asked about Pam Bondi and her comments. This is cut number 16. Check this out. Cut 16, President Trump.
And what do you make of Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
She'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you. Look, we want everything to be fair. It hasn't been fair. And the radical left has done tremendous damage to the country, but we're fixing it.
Yeah, so there's the president talking about of course, the radical left, and we've seen the results of their hate speech as it is really just inflamed the people on the left.
Yeah, that's not his best answer ever that I've ever heard, but
no. Yeah. Speaking of speech, Democrat Illinois governor, one of your favorites there, Dame, Governor J.B. couldn't say no to
couldn't find the salad bar Pritzker. Yep.
Couldn't say no to buffet Pritzker. Was swiftly fact-checked by conservatives on social media for claiming he never called Republicans Nazis, as lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are trading barbs on the heightened political rhetoric following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That is completely false, he says. I've never called Republicans Nazis. He said that Monday. As a matter of fact, we have him saying it, followed by having him saying it. Here is cut number 2. Here is lying J.B. Pritzker saying, I never called them Nazis. Cut number 2.
That is completely false. I have never called Republicans Nazis.
Everything that he has done has been tearing down constitutional democracy. And that's what happened in Nazi Germany. It doesn't take very long to tear apart a constitutional republic. Indeed, the Nazis did it in 53 days. And our democracy is almost as fragile. And we're seeing it right now. The dangers that we saw in Nazi Germany, especially in the earliest days of Nazi Germany,
he's not calling
are
them
the dangers that we need to react to now. If we don't, things will get much, much worse. And so we've got to raise alarm bells to everybody. It's a 5-alarm fire, everyone.
Yeah, it's a 5-alarm fire.
Yeah.
See,
that's how he likes his wings.
I didn't call them direct Nazis, Delgado. I just said, well, this is what happened in Nazi Germany, as if so that's different.
Yeah, no correlation.
No lunatic out there could infer that I mean that that's what they are, right?
Clearly not.
Of course not.
Of course not. Then these terms like Nazi and fascist, they just it's like saying, good night and hello.
Yeah, good morning.
True.
How are you today?
That's how easy we throw them around.
Right.
They have no real specific meaning. No one's going to take them,
No.
gaslit into thinking that that's really what they are.
And that's what
just because they're in the same sentence, they couldn't have any connection.
Right, exactly. Well, Pritzker again today says, I never called Republicans Nazis. Critics slammed the governor as a pathological liar, saying his public remarks are forever archived on the internet. And as you can see, we found a few and played them for you right there. And again, this is gets right back to everything that's been going on for the past week, and actually the past 8 years when it comes to President Trump, his administration, and his time of not only running for president but being president as well. They've used this and other things to basically dehumanize him and dehumanize all of us, the people that support the president and his policies.
Yeah.
How many people did Adolf Hitler kill? 80 million? A number that huge?
I thought it was 6.
Yeah, I think it was an 80.
But 6 million.
Yeah.
He killed
That's still a lot.
Yeah, 6 million.
I heard a bigger number, but he killed 6 million people. So, you call people Hitler and Nazis, it gets people angry.
Yeah.
Right.
And they want to save the world from that. That's the obvious call out.
Right. And it's meant to, again, it's one of those things where it's like, well, if I stop this guy, I've stopped the next Hitler, so I would be rewarded for it.
They're a hero.
Right,
They think
they're
they're
a
a
hero.
hero. People on the left actually think that.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got one more real quick one for you, Damon. You're going to love this one. Maureen Comey. You know that name?
Oh, yeah.
Prosecutor in the Epstein's and Sean Combs cases, daughter of former FBI director, one James Comey, is now suing the FBI for being fired. Yes, Maureen Comey, the federal prosecutor that I just mentioned, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, alleges in a lawsuit filed just the other day in federal court in Manhattan that she was not given an explanation for her termination and said it was done in retaliation for being her father's daughter. According to her, I guess you're not ever allowed to be fired. Ms. Comey's termination without cause, without advance notice, and without any opportunity to contest it was unlawful, according to the lawsuit. In truth, there's no legitimate explanation other than she probably can't be trusted that the defendants fired Miss Comey solely and substantially because her father was a former FBI director, James B. Comey, or because of her perceived political affiliations and beliefs, or both, the lawsuit alleges. So there you have it. We're not done with the Comeys yet. This one wants to go to court. The other one's trying to avoid court, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, she's probably doing that because she saw today in Cash's committee hearing that somebody asked him who the hell decided to pay Lisa Page and Peter Strzok each got a couple $1 million to after they got fired. So maybe she's thinking she could pick up a cool couple mil. But
Wow.
now it's up to Pam Bondi and Cash to decide that. So I say Zippo.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick sports. 11 minutes past the hour. Then we'll do Vin's news when we get back. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D, one more quick sweep of the scoreboard while we're at it. We got the Cubs right now leading the Pirates 4-1, top of the ninth. Bottom 8, Guardians 3-2 over the Tigers. Braves and Nationals end of 2 after that rain delay. The Athletics over the Red Sox 2-1. Mets continue to lead the Padres 8-2, end of 6. Bottom 5, Blue Jays 6-3 over the Rays. Brewers over the Angels 5-1, top of the 5th. Orioles continue to lead the White Sox 6-2, top of the 5th as well. Yankees are up 10-1. They're taking care of business in Minnesota, bottom of the 5th there. Mariners are up, yep, you guessed it, 10-1 over the Royals, bottom of the 5th. The Cardinals 3-0 over the Reds, whose hopes are fading. They're in the bottom of the 5th for this season. Top of the 4th, Astros 2-0 over the Marlins, and the Braves earlier tonight did defeat the Nationals. Wanted to get to another quick story. I didn't get it, but Sean McVay of the Los Angeles Rams there actually tore his plantar fascia on the sideline of the game on Sunday, and now he's down for the count, so I'm not sure how they're going to be able to accommodate him. But during the Rams' victory on Sunday, he was running up and down, and he tore it, so we'll have to keep an eye on what happens with the coach there. But Sean McVay sidelined on the sideline, so that was some story there.
Uh-oh.
And that's a wrap in sports, Big D, for me right now.
All right, Slick, very good. 12 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll get to Vinny's news when we get back. We don't have time right now. But, yeah, I mean, when you look at social media, and I'm looking at the chat, looking at what's coming in, all the talk is still about this exchange of text messages. And listen, there is a chance that they added some real-life things in there, and a lot of it still could be made up. There is a world that we live in that it could be a little mix of both. Like Bannon says, how did he have time to write a sonnet? I mean, there's a chance you could have a mix of both.
Yep.
So, all right, Vinny Mac's news coming up when we get back live from Studio 6B right after this. If you're in the chat, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. If you're watching on a channel that you're not subscribed to, I saw something in one of the analytics that only about 25% of people who watch our videos are actually subscribed. So if you're watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button. On YouTube, you're on YouTube, you're watching Real America's Voice. Make sure you subscribe to them as well. But head over to LFS6B and make sure you subscribe to our socials.
A update on those numbers that we were talking about through one of our crack fans here on LFSXB. Adolf Hitler's policies and actions caused the death of at least 40 to 50 million people. 6 million, I think, directly related to Holocaust.
Right.
But 40 to 50 million people because of his policies and the war. I mean, that's just astonishing. It's an astonishing amount of people lost.
Kind words from Charles Livingston in the chat, the YouTube chat that is. Studio 6B is done. Idiots with a clown emoji. Thank you, Charles Livingston. Nice, kind words.
What happened?
All in caps. He's shouting at us.
What happened?
What platform?
On the YouTubes.
On the YouTube.
On the
Yeah.
YouTubes.
Why do you feel that way?
You're on the RAV YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the Rap YouTube. Yes.
Ask him why he feels that way.
Why do you feel that way?
I'm not sure if I want.
Dig in here.
Not sure I want to validate that statement so much. So, but
let's dig in.
Let's dig in.
He probably thinks he has a video of the bullet.
Gilly says he could be a troll, or he's a troll.
There's been a few trolls lately, by the way.
He may have that iPhone, Big D.
Yeah, he has
He's
the
like,
one.
my
got the
iPhone
iPhone.
catches every bullet.
I've got the super iPhone.
I got the new 12.
Like anybody has all the answers right now.
The bullet
Nobody
travels
does.
2,200 feet a second, sir. Don't worry. I know.
I've been practicing. Watch. Look how quick I am.
Oops.
Just passing through this time. The guy's a jerk. These men are the best. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate the kind words.
Correction.
Suzette
Excellent.
says, don't bother with him, Rick. She's right.
We needed a correction. Awesome. I've just noticed more and more trolls, though, overall.
Yeah.
Just coming on and saying dumb
fast.
stuff.
Yep.
But the thing is, our audience, man, they jump right in. They defend us. They defend the program. And they go after these low-life trolls that jump in Facebook or YouTube or any of these things.
Anybody can blow up in it. Look at that idiot that ran across Charlie Kirk's memorial. And wasn't that disgusting?
And they got his ass quick.
You see the one guy in the blue shirt? He threw that guy down like a rag doll.
As what should be done. No innocent bystanders here, man.
And that was a decent-sized kid that he threw down, too. The kid was a decent-sized kid. He threw him down like a rag doll. They cuffed him and out the door.
Well, every night on Studio 6B, we talk about what's going on in Washington, but here's a way to do something about it. That's to join AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservative alternative to AARP, and they're fighting for the values that we talk about all the time: faith, family, freedom, and the good old-fashioned common sense. Members of AMAC get, discounts on travel, insurance, and prescriptions, plus access to useful resources in the great AMAC magazine delivered to your door. And get this, you can receive up to 33% off when you choose a 5-year membership. That's just over $1 a month to join a movement holding Washington accountable and helping save this country. Go to amac.us/studio6B right now and join. amac.us/studio6B and join. Let's stand together and fight back. amac.us/studio6B. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news and see what's on Vinnie Mac's mind. Vinnie Mac, what's going on?
Yeah, one thing is really, bugging me big time, this whole cancel culture thing. And I'll step back from that for a second and just state that a lot of people have lost their jobs because of moronic things they've said about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And they're Delta pilots, folks in the news organizations, people with companies. It's great to see that there's some sanity out there and taking care of this. And I hear the people on the left, and I see on social media and all the chatter about, cancel culture. I thought you guys hated cancel culture. Let me provide some clarity here to the boneheads that are saying that. Kevin Hart is a comedian. Kevin Hart made a homophobic joke 20 years ago, and he got canceled from hosting the Oscars. That's cancel culture. That's woke. That's saying something that's not politically correct and being fired. Not saying something about the assassination of a very prominent political figure and making fun of that and wishing and hoping and being gleeful that he was killed. That's apples and oranges to some video of someone 20 years ago saying something maybe inappropriate, but not vile like this. So it's not cancel culture. It's called just being a decent human being. And none of us, there's nobody in the history of this country that was pro killing someone for their views. Nobody. Now, people have been killed for their views. Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Okay, there's been people killed for their views, and it's horrific no matter who it is. I equate Charlie Kirk quite a bit to Martin Luther King in the sense that, they were both people just trying to peacefully provide their truth in a conversation in a very peaceful and an uplifting way. They didn't mean harm to anybody. They didn't use violence. They didn't say bad words. They didn't attack people. They didn't make fun of people. They didn't do all that. So there's a difference. This is not cancel culture. This is just vile pontificating. The other thing that's on my mind, Damon, is quite interesting because you and I have talked about Joe Manchin in the past. And I've always been a fan of Joe Manchin. You know, I'm wouldn't vote for Joe Manchin over Donald Trump.
He's a phony snake oil salesman.
And there you go.
Camouflage.
Okay. So Damon thinks he's a phony snake oil salesman, but he has come out and he's basically thrown the Biden administration and the Obama administration under the bus.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's convenient now.
It is.
Sure, why not?
Well, I'm going to take it because I think Joe's speaking some truth. He didn't run again. He dropped out. He's frustrated with the system. But what he had to say about it, I think, was quite interesting because his message is essentially they have tried to distort the entire government for their own powerful purposes. They've tried to change things that have been in place throughout our history. They're trying to change laws. He's calling out all the things that we have seen. Here's a guy that was part of the Democratic Party, then became an independent, saying these things. He might be a funny son of a gun, as Damon says. He might be someone that maybe folks don't like. But I love the fact that he's come out and called out those two administrations in particular, Harry Reid too, about using the system in such a vile way with this un-American, undemocratic, trying to tear down our republic for their own powerful purposes. He calls out Chuck Schumer big time. And I think there's no love lost for Chuck Schumer.
Well, why did
Damon,
he do it when he was standing next to Chuck all those years?
Yeah, well, my guess is they were all threatened, and now he doesn't care. But whatever the reasons back then, I don't like any of that, but with the reasons back then, whatever they were, be that as it may, he's speaking out now and he's telling us things that we all knew. And he's simply validating a lot of the issues that we've been talking about on this show and probably talk about on social media for years and years and years. And that is, they don't care. They don't really care about what happens in this country as long as they're in power. That's why they let 10 million people flood into the country. That's why they do all these things that they do. This is about the filibuster is what kind of started the whole conversation. So I say, like him or not, kudos for Joe Manchin for at least speaking out on a subject I think that more Democrats need to speak out. Fetterman's been talking about it. I heard him today in a great interview. He was with a Republican senator from Pennsylvania. He was on Brett Baier talking about how they're trying to get along. They don't agree on everything. And Fetterman's outraged by what the Democratic Party does when they start talking about the Hitler thing and the Nazi thing and all that. And at least he's speaking out. And that's going to help us. More and more folks on the other side here, the Democratic side, speaking out like this will help us all come together.
Well, Fetterman certainly has been more of an individual thinker than the party. I mean, he's like 98% groupthink with them, but he does have those moments where he at least separates himself and is able to think logically about things and has gone against the party.
Yeah, like Bill Maher.
Which, of course, as soon as he did, by the way, they had him all back. They had him like the day after his stroke saying, you know, maybe this guy's not as good as we think, and he's really got problems. They're ready to throw him off under the bus as quickly as they could, by the way.
He's not taking his medication, all the rumors.
Yeah, they were going to back the bus back up over him if they could in about 2 seconds as soon as he started to make some sense.
But he fought it. Unlike Manchin, who kind of rolled back when he was in office, you know, Fetterman did fight that and challenge them on it. But that's how they roll. Why did nobody cross Nancy Pelosi? Because she would destroy you. She would destroy your life, your career, everything else.
Hey, Fran, is YouTube down again? Okay.
Well, just for a little context there, Vin, I don't know if you know Joe Manchin all that much, but he immediately set up shop on K Street, which I don't know if you're familiar with K Street. That's where all the consultants are. So he's moved into being a consultant, which means his pocketbook is getting quite full. And why is he out now in the last, 24, 48 hours? I see all these things popping up about Joe Manchin. Well, he's got a book to push. Yes, Joe Manchin on his memoir. He's started a book tour, and I guess this is how it starts. His new book, called Dead Center in Defense of Common Sense, takes aim at Washington's toxic political culture.
Yeah, at least he's talking about it. I hear you. All that stuff is true.
He's only talking about it for money.
He's still talking about it, and he's exposing what we all knew was happening. So I'll take it. because I want more people on the left to at least throw these people under the bus as much as they possibly can.
All right, 20. Anything else, Finn?
No, that's all for now.
All right, 25 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. I was hearing someone talk today about, and we saw when this slime ball was on screen that he was in fact in that getup because Delgado, you said you saw it reported that he's on suicide watch.
Yeah, he's on suicide
Yeah.
watch.
And some of the reporting from the dad that we read in some of those in the prosecutor's kind of brief said that he had said to the dad that he wanted to just end it, and the dad was able to convince him to come home.
Correct.
And then kind of keep him at bay until they showed up to get him, I guess, right? Is that the story?
Yep, that's the story. And he said he was going to turn himself into a neighbor who was, I guess, a deputy with the sheriff.
Who was a friend of his or something?
Yeah, it's a little convoluted.
Yeah. All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Philip Patrick from Birch Gold will join us when we get back. And then we'll do some more news, sports, more Vinnie Mac before we wrap it up on a Tuesday night right after this.
On the YouTubes? Is that the one that crashed?
It's the most views I've seen since we've been on Rav.
What's that?
The Rav YouTube had 3,100 views, which is the most I've seen on their particular platform. I haven't seen it that high. But it's interesting how it's freezing and crashing and everything. Every time
Damon, you haven't answered. Still checking in on how your daughter's doing, feeling better today. Yes, she's feeling great. Thank you very much for
Is that
asking.
Michael San?
I think it was Racing Banshee.
Racing Banshee.
Did he fall out of your tree?
I used to jump out of trees.
You broke the tubes. You broke the tubes.
Ronald Hackman has some good words to say for Slick Rick over there.
My tubes are tied.
He calls what, yeah, your YouTubes are working over
My
there.
YouTubes are tied.
He says that you got power observations. Like when you come in, it's powerful.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. He's
Yeah,
got, by the way, one of the funniest guys on the whole show. Great lines, not just good lines. We're cracking up half the time because we catch some of the stuff. It flies quick.
Only Delgado's tied to my jokes. He's been hearing them for 5.5 years.
Yeah, well, okay.
I can't make him laugh anymore.
Robert Turgeon,
Thank you, Vin.
on Facebook says, Delgado, check your DMs. Maybe he sent you a video he wants you to see.
Who's this?
That could be the
Somebody
video.
on Facebook?
That video
On the
we were asking.
Facebooks?
The video you were asking for, right?
I don't know.
Check your Facebook. I guess that's what he said.
Robert Turgeon?
He might have the slow motion bullet shot from his iPhone.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Delgado DM look.
Let's see.
Okay, so do that, or you know,
Delgado.
he's gonna be pissed.
Better not be that thing that
Bum,
swings.
bum, ba-dum.
I will accept. Robert Turgeon. Sounds like a hockey player.
Yeah, it does. Pierre Turgeon.
Pierre
from the Islanders,
Turgeon. Right.
remember him?
Yep.
Yeah. And he's his head from that
Pierre
Washington game.
Turgeon, Sneaky Pete, they used to call him. Yeah, Turgeon.
He was a good center.
Oh, the run they were on before, and actually they won that series.
Got boarded in there. Who was that? That was Dale Hunter, right?
Yep,
Remember
Dale
that?
Hunter, and
That bum.
I saw him talk
You
about
want to know what year that was? I think that was 93.
really, wow. I remember it vividly.
Moly.
I've seen this.
Oh, my God. I think it was 93.
I'm not seeing what people are seeing.
What do you see in
Whether
Delgado?
they think they're seeing a pistol or whatever. I'm sorry, but
Oh.
there would be sound. There would be
Recoil.
There would be people looking to see what just happened.
Of course.
Nobody moves. I don't know. But when he was shot, you remember.
It's past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, September 16th. Glad you're in. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media at LFS6B. Slick's going to do some more sports. Delgado will get to a couple more headlines. Vinnie Mac may get to some more news as well. But right now, please welcome back to the show our friend from Birch Gold Group. He's a precious metal specialist. That's our friend Philip Patrick. Mr. Patrick, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Very, very good. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for a few moments. Scott Besson, he published an interesting read in the op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. What was your big takeaway from it?
Yeah, it was first. It was interesting to see the Treasury Secretary writing an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, but basically he accused the Fed of a mission creep, saying that they'd strayed far beyond their legal mandate of stable prices and maximum employment. Basically saying since 2008, they have relied, as we know, on extraordinary tools, things like near zero interest rates, quantitative easing, that were experiments that permanently distorted the economy. And instead of improving the economy, all they did was create a de facto backstop for the wealthy. So what we saw was large corporations thrived, they locked in cheap debt, homeowners who bought earlier got richer as assets price soars. But it was the younger and middle-class Americans that were left behind. They were priced out of housing, punished by inflation, and missing the upside. His warning, I think, was very clear. He said the Fed's ongoing experiment in monetary policy has not only undermined its independence and credibility, but also the financial future of everyday working Americans. And I think he's absolutely right.
Yeah, I hear you, but isn't that exactly what's going to happen when the Fed starts cutting interest rates? You look at the housing market and you look at hard assets like gold and precious metals, Bitcoin, other things you look at. I mean, this is when these things are set to run. As soon as he starts easing, well, isn't there a case to be made that it's just going to get worse?
Yeah, honestly, I think the Fed is damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they cut interest rates, it's going to lead to a spike in asset prices, but it'll ultimately fuel inflation, which is already creeping up. The alternative is to hold firm or raise, and ultimately you'll escalate what is, I think, an inevitable recession. So it's tough. Debt service is looming in the background as well. So the Fed are in a very tough situation.
Yeah, and so getting back to Besson, he said in this article he accused the Fed of pursuing what he calls the wealth effect, I believe is what he called it. So for people who have not heard that term, maybe explain it in kind of layman's terms. What does he mean by that? Kind of what you already said, but just explain it again.
Of course, and I think it explains very well the position we're in today. Look, it's the idea, or the Fed's belief, I should say, that if they used unconventional policies to push up asset prices, people who own those assets would feel richer and ultimately spend more, and that spending was supposed to trickle down the economy to everyone else. On paper, it was supposed to boost growth, but in reality, all it did was supercharge the economy. The concept is flawed. See, it's only the 10% wealthiest Americans. They own 90% of financial assets and real estate. So what happened is they got richer, a lot richer. In fact, their share of total American wealth has risen fourfold since the year 2000, since the turn of the century. But the problem is everybody else, middle and working class families, they didn't own financial assets. So instead of benefiting from higher prices, they just faced higher costs. I think housing is the perfect example. We saw all the headlines last year. The average American family can no longer afford the average home. And I think what we're seeing now is a generation getting shut out of home ownership. And I think Besson explained quite well how this happened. The result is a two-track economy, one where asset owners are insulated from inflation, while everyone else, especially hardworking Americans, are steadily impoverished. As Besson put it, the wealth effect has already made the wealthy Americans much wealthier, and it's done so at the expense of everybody else.
Yeah, and that kind of explains what's happened kind of to the middle class through all of this. But Besson calls for reform at the Fed. But when you look at this, I mean, intellectually, it's hard to make the argument that one guy, and I know he's going to leave early next year and we're going to get a new Fed president, but certainly it's hard to make the argument that one guy is responsible for this when you look at the financial situation of the country, the debt, the inflation. I mean, quite frankly, I remember a time President Trump in his first term, when rates were effectively zero, was still calling for cuts. So, I mean, both sides have had some hand in this. Changing the Federal Reserve Chairman is that enough change to fix any of this?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not at all. And it affects the impartiality of the Fed. I think it's had a negative effect, quite frankly. That's why Trump and Besson have come out and said, look, we're not going to do it. Look, I think that we don't fire the Fed chairman is not going to achieve anything. I think looking at reforming the Fed, how they work longer term, some oversight may not be a bad idea, but certainly firing Powell's not going to achieve anything. The bigger issue is this. No reform is going to undo decades of distortion. You can't unpop a housing bubble. You can't redistribute wealth up. So even if the Fed were to revert to a narrower role, which I think they should, we've still got the middle class stuck paying the bills of inflated prices and deflated wages. There's not a way out of that.
So, what do people do? They're looking at this. They're hearing you right now, and they're saying, well, if I've been lucky enough to even save, if you have a savings, what do people do to protect it?
You buy gold. And I hate to be so blunt about it, but I'm buying in this climate as much as I possibly can. I'm following central banks. Central banks are setting records. They've done so for the last 3 years. They've set a new record in the first 6 months of this year. They see the writing on the wall. Look, any student of history has to understand we got $37 trillion of debt. We've got a $2 trillion annual deficit. This doesn't bode well for the dollar's value long term. Gold is now the second largest global reserve asset. It overtook the euro officially last year. It is now a larger share of central bank reserves than US treasuries for the first time in a long time. Let's not forget, in the 80s, gold was king when it came to central bank reserves, over 65%. I think we are heading back to that. That doesn't bode well for the dollar, but it does bode well for gold. So I think everybody has to have a hedge. It's that simple.
And gold right now sitting at 36.78, and it continues to be set up on an up to the left trajectory, and it seems like it's going to continue that way. So, Philip, always a pleasure to have you on the show. We always appreciate it.
Thank you, Damon. Thanks, guys.
And, of course, you can text America to 989898. Text America 989898. Throw this up, Aaron, just because it is a pretty crazy chart. I mean, when you look at the performance, there's the performance of gold.
Wow.
This is right here. This bottom right over here is 2023. And
wow.
you see what it's done.
Wow.
2 years.
That is really
and now
climbing.
it's at 36.77. That's what the chart looks like. Up and to the right. I think I said before up to the left. I meant up and to the right.
That's fantastic.
But just to give you an idea, there it is since 2019, back here. This was 1150 gold was at. Back here, July of 2016, it was at 1,048.
Why didn't you tell me to buy it then?
So
yeah,
I don't understand. What are you waiting for?
So
You could have told me.
You could have sold you some nice bullions.
Yeah. So, all right, 38 past the hour. Let's do some more headlines. Rick Delgado's got them. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, of course, Kash Patel making waves on Capitol Hill today as he was up there to talk to senators, or actually be yelled at by senators and accused of things. Of course, Kash Patel, not one to hold his tongue very much. He was questioned on a bunch of things, including the current investigation going on in Utah regarding the assassin of Charlie Kirk. Also about crime in the country. They also talked about, many different things, one of which involved, well, let's just skip to it because they were jumping around. They want to know about Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what Kash Patel had to say about Jeffrey Epstein. Here he is talking about the evidence that he has found, cut number 9. Check this out. Here's FBI Director Kash Patel on Jeffrey Epstein evidence, cut 9.
You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday. that he trafficked to other individuals. And the
Listen to his
information we
words.
have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one
It's limited.
For the information that we have
There again.
in the files.
in the case file.
Okay.
There it is. Now, of course,
What do you mean,
everybody's
there it
head
is?
exploded. Because even mine for a second, but I'm like, wait, what did he just say? Let me listen to this again.
Oh.
For the case files that we have.
Oh, got
In
it.
other words,
there's the key.
that's the key.
Yeah, clearly.
Because he's not talking about any files that they may have uncovered.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
talked about the ones that they have that he's gone through.
Right.
Okay.
That's what he's talking about.
Not the missing files.
Not
Right here.
not the current investigation that could be going on that
not
we don't
these.
know about,
Yeah.
which
Not
is
these.
fine.
So there's
Not
a bunch
those
of files here.
Those
The
files
minnow
over there,
has been lost.
we can't talk about those because I haven't gone through them yet.
Yeah.
The ones that we've seen, the
Yeah.
ones that they gave us when I walked in, this is what we have, those have been scrubbed.
Okay.
Of course, that didn't sit well with most people, including one Adam Schiff. And here is Kash Patel going off on Adam Schiff after they went back and forth on the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Here is cut number 10. You can check this out for yourself. Cut number 10. Sit back and enjoy.
To believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements
Oh,
of
you're not in
inmates.
the weeds?
What I am
The
doing is
most-
protecting
the
this country,
most- the
providing
most
historic
significant
reform,
witness-
and
the most
combating the
significant witness,
weaponization of
the
intelligence
Epstein
by the
files
likes of you.
cover-up
And we have
gets
countlessly proven you to
from
be a
your
liar in
administration,
Russiagate, in
and you
January
call that
6th.
being
You are
in
the
the
biggest
weeds?
fraud to ever sit in the
This
United States
stinks to
Senate.
high
You are a
heaven.
disgrace to this
This stinks to high
institution
heaven.
and an utter
And
coward.
That's
I'm
right,
not
baby.
Surprised.
I'm not surprised
not
that you continue to
surprised
lie
that the-
from
the-
your
the-
perch and put on a show
two of you
so you can go
have
raise
you-
money
Well,
for your
and for good
charade.
reason.
You are a political buffoon at best.
Oh,
Well,
man.
You can take
Love that.
an internet troll
Take
and
it
make-
to the
you can
bank
take an
that the
internet-
FBI is
you
protecting
can
this
make an
country
internet troll,
and the state and
the
citizens
FBI
of the
director
California.
will
We are
always
bringing
hear nothing more
historic
than an
reform.
internet
Historic.
troll. Point of order.
But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
You said
take
I'm the
control
most
of this
transparent
situation.
FBI director in history.
I'm getting smoked.
33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Both of you be quiet.
Whoa. There you go. Both of you be quiet.
What
Get
you
off
talk
my
about,
lawn.
Willis? Wow.
He also had
That's
a similar
fire. He
exchange.
He was way too kind on him.
Yeah, he had a similar exchange with
He could have had some
Corey,
expletives.
what's his name? Corey who from New Jersey?
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker.
Spartacus.
Yes.
God.
Spartacus got leveled.
They had a great back and forth as well, where Cash unloaded it on him as well. But there you go. Just a little taste of what was going down on Capitol Hill today.
Cash,
From,
the only thing Cash misses if he said, "Listen here, pencil neck.
I thought a holy shift would have been nice, too.
Listen here, watermelon."
Watermelon head.
It was a shift show. Don't worry.
Make a big deal about it.
We'll make like you're not even here.
Something's missing. What's going? Oh, yeah, my hat was placed somewhere different. Yeah. We'll come up with something. I took it.
Yeah.
I took that hat, and I took one of these. What do you mean I can't do that? Oh, they were?
Yeah.
I didn't see that in the memo.
You can't wear those hats.
I saw.
3 hats.
I saw. Slick told me to take 3
I tell them
hats.
take them. They're going to sit there anyway.
No, those were in the back there.
Wow.
Give the guy an alligator
The
hat.
first time
My
in the
God.
studio in like 3 months,
This
and
one
he's
too?
stealing everything. Like
Give
it's
him a
not
hat.
tied down.
How about the bananas thing?
Oh my God, you're like a klepto. This guy.
Yes, got
I didn't
everything
have
over
to
there.
take
What are you
that.
doing?
I'm short of stuff at home. I need hats.
Stole 3 hats.
I need something to keep my coffee warm, cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got sticky fingers.
Possession is 9/10 of the Buta.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, you
snap.
made that hat?
This was in the unboxing today. If you watched.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
missed that.
Yeah. So what did you just feel you could run in here and just steal them?
Yeah, I saw the hats. I thought they were for us. So I'm wearing it. I'm trying to support the
He
cause.
needs a hat
Okay,
to
if you
travel.
wear this for the last segment, then you can have it.
All right.
So put it on right now.
I think you should wear all of them at once.
Actually, yeah. Yeah. Since you stole all 3, you have to wear all 3. Then you can have
At the same time.
Now, I would expect Slick Rick to take a little culpability here because I asked him, can I take one?
Yeah.
You have to wear.
Yeah, 1.
And Rick said, take as many as
3.
you want.
I told him that.
Slick Rick told me, take as many as you want.
Okay. Now you can have the hats, Finn. You have to stay like that for the last
I'll
segment.
put this one on.
Other way. No, other way.
I really killed all these
Okay.
batteries.
There you go.
Okay. If this is my punishment, then I shall,
Good.
I did.
you know.
And you
All right.
still
We have any-
can't
we have
keep
batteries?
Now you've earned them.
We have
Good,
batteries
good.
over there, Doug?
I'm
Yeah.
going to have trouble doing any serious news after this, but we'll.
Thank you. Hey, Finn,
Yeah.
you look like you had it.
Yeah, I've had it. That's for sure. Yeah, that's a good one.
Stick with
Oh,
John.
see, people think you look good, Vin.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think you should wear them again on Friday.
Thank you very
You look
much,
like Bo Winkle. Thank you.
Francis. I appreciate
It's a
all
Bo
your
Winkle
comments,
look.
by the way. Thank you.
Well, they look good on you, though. Don't worry. Even-
All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. This is why you want to watch on socials, because if you missed the break, you missed. We discovered that Vin is trying to steal hats.
He's a kleptomaniac.
That are sent to us, and I haven't designated who they're for. And Vin's got 3 of them already. He says, "Oh, I'm taking these." Well, no, you're not.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
now he
am.
had to earn them if he wants those. So we're making him earn it by wearing all 3 of them
Yes.
together here in the last segment of the show. And so then maybe, I guess, we'll have to convene as a group and
Yeah,
decide if he's
You
wearing
guys
them. So.
talk about
I haven't
that.
seen that many lids since Biden was in office.
13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. Let me get to everybody here before we wrap. Slick, I'll start with you. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. What else is going on?
Well, Hulk Hogan's widow believes Emmys snubbed due to politics. This is Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart. Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan's widow is ripping the Emmy Awards for excluding her husband from its annual In Memoriam segment, and she thinks he was snubbed for supporting Donald Trump. Linda Hogan was shocked and disheartened after finding out that her husband was left out of the yearly memorial. She says it's because Hogan supported political ideas that most in Hollywood do not. I can't prove that. It's just a guess, but they should have named him, she said, according to Entertainment Weekly. Linda, who was Hogan's first wife, married the wrestling star in 1993. The pair divorced in 2009. Hulk Hogan died of a myocardial infraction in July. WWF at the top of the hour when he came on to wrestle, Hulk said at the highest of the ratings on NBC, beating all other competition for that time slot for years, Linda added. I really can't tell you why they left him out. Just a guess considering the way he was treated at his last appearance in L.A. Linda paid tribute to her former husband on social media after he died. Hulk, of course, was a prominent Trump supporter. He even appeared at the GOP National Convention, which, of course, we all remember him talking about Trumpomania. But, yeah, kind of a sad story. They do go through all the people that have passed away, and they forgot the Trump stuff. I mean, he was one of the biggest entertainers there ever was, and obviously we know he passed this year, so thought that was some sad news. And just one more quick one, Big D, while we're on the subject tonight, right? Trans rider who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death disavowed by U.S. Olympic BMX team. Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart. I don't know if you saw this woman that's been, chirping away the last couple of days about Charlie Kirk. The U.S. Olympic women's BMX team has moved to distance itself from a transgender member of the team who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination and told those against trans athletes to go suck a shotgun. Transgender athlete Chelsea Wolfe, an alternate in BMX for the U.S. at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, posted a significant number of social media posts giddy over Charlie Kirk's assassination in the days after his death. But Team USA has come out to remind Olympic fans that Wolf was no longer a member of the team. The views of current and former national team athletes are their own and do not reflect those of the USA Cycling. Wolf, who identifies as a woman, shared multiple posts celebrating Kirk's death, including one with the words, "We did it." In a separate post, the trans cyclist said, it's just terrible. I'm not even going to read the rest of this, but let me also say they've disavowed her from the team, and she's no longer associated
Has
with
the
the club.
WWE fired The Rock's daughter as of today?
Yeah, we wrote in that story last night. I have not seen anything about them firing The Rock's daughter at all. No. Terrible. But that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, very good. Vinnie Mac, what else is on your mind?
I messaged you about this. There's a young man, the son of one of our listeners, Connor Jackson is his name. He made a video, and others have made videos like this, a heartfelt video about and he's a young man. I think he's 18, 19 years old. A heartfelt video about Charlie Kirk's assassination and how it affected him and all those sorts of things, and put it up on TikTok, and they banned it. They banned a lot of these heartfelt videos that young people posted in support of Charlie, and also an outrage of
So
what
how did
happened
you
to
see
Charlie.
it then?
He sent it to me.
Oh.
And it's excellent. I sent it through Facebook, which did not take it down. But it was taken down on TikTok, and I just wanted to give him a shout out because, one, I told him I would, and two, it's this type of censorship that we don't want to see. He didn't say anything outrageous in this video other than his heartfelt emotions for what happened. So that's one thing I wanted to call out. And the second piece of things that jumped out at me today was, I don't know if you saw this, but Trump said on Monday that he was going to file a $15 billion lawsuit against the New York Times for a bunch of stuff they printed about him and Jeffrey Epstein. And I just love when Trump does this. I know some people might not feel the same way, but I feel pretty strongly about it because it's his way of leveling the playing field, and he wins. He's winning these lawsuits. I'm waiting to see what happens with the Wall Street Journal lawsuit. He's won a few already against ABC. And
Has he actually filed the Wall Street Journal one?
I don't know. I don't know for a fact if he has. I know he's threatened to, but I don't know if he has. And he's doing the same here. He says he's filing this lawsuit against the New York Times.
No, I think this one he did. The New York Times, he did, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he file it today?
That's what it says. He said he would file it. Maybe he filed it today.
I thought I saw something that said he did.
I guess the point is that when the President of the United States takes action like this and he wins, it opens the gates for all of us and all of the lies that they say over and over again. How many times have we seen the New York Times and many of these other organizations, I'm not even going to call them news organizations, print stuff and then put a retraction on page 72 or buried somewhere on their website when they just misled people for years, months, days, whatever that is, and then they have to put a little retraction up. No one takes any action. There's never anything that's done. This is how we can level the playing field with the media, is with things like this. And Trump is leading by example. You have something here?
Yeah, this is his truth today. Today, I have the great honor of bringing a $15 billion defamation and libel lawsuit against the New York Times, one of the worst and most degenerate newspapers in the history of our country, become a virtual mouthpiece for the radical left Democrat Party. I view it as the single largest illegal campaign contribution ever. He's absolutely right.
He's absolutely right. And what we need is more people to do this because they've defamed and lied about so many people. And I guess the irony of all of this, you talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the violence that happens. This is how it happens. They print some nonsensical stuff that's not true. They haven't checked their facts. It's not validated. And people on the left especially, they believe this. That's how they get brainwashed and so on and so forth. So we have to use whatever powers we have to take action here. And Trump is doing that, leading by example.
All right, 7 minutes till the top of the hour. What other headlines, Rick Delgado, do you want to get to?
All right, one quick juicy one from over the weekend is Senator Rand Paul is calling on Dr. Anthony Fauci to appear again before the Senate after exposing emails from Fauci that conflict with statements he made before Congress. Here he is with Maria Bartiromo over the weekend, cut number 6, talking about what they found on Dr. Fauci destroying documents, cut number 6. Check it out.
And what we've discovered is that Anthony Fauci was destroying federal records and was encouraging other people to destroy federal records. That is a crime. He testified to the House a year ago and said he wasn't doing that. That's a crime to perjure himself. And so we will bring him back. I've asked him to come and testify this fall. If he doesn't come voluntarily, we will subpoena him. The question is he immune because of the pardon? I think that needs to be challenged in court. I have encouraged the Trump administration that they should prosecute this case and challenge the auto pen.
Yeah, so there you have it. The documents obtained by the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, try to say that 3 times fast, show that Fauci, the former director of the NIAID, directed his employees and other National Institutes of Health people to destroy email records and other communications, which you heard Rand Paul talk about right there. The letter outlines also Fauci testified to the House Oversight last year that he did not destroy any government records. In 2 emails dated in February and July of 2020, he then asked, please delete this email after you read it. So I hope they get him to come in, see what he has to say. Again, if he's free and clear, if he's protected by the pardon, then he'll have no problem telling the truth because he can't claim the.
There's a documentary about him by Angel Studios. Oliver Stone made it, just released. So I would recommend go see it.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all of our emergency personnel, everybody that keeps the country moving forward, all our truckers, all our farmers. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you. Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here, back live from Studio 6B.